Hi everyone, it's Kevin, and this is the project video that's going to show you how to put together the Matchbox treat box. And I'm really loving this Circle Celebration stamp set. Very similar to the card project with the round sentiment tag on the front. I'm going to be doing some stamping of some different textures and whatnot, and I've already got the greenery on a block. I've already got the little spiky circle on a block. I've got the flower. I've got the dots. I may swap out and do some of these other ones as well. Any of these textures will work good, but I'm going to stick to a similar color palette that I used on my card project earlier. Petal Pink, Highland Heather, Crushed Curry, Coastal Cabana, and Granny Apple Green. You use whatever colors you have on hand. The only reason I suggest Petal Pink is because I am going to be using some of this striped organdy ribbon that we included with the kit to wrap and put a bow on my box, and that is Petal Pink in color. But it goes with any of these other soft, subtle colors. And from my paper pack, I have chosen this Purple Posy. I'm not really it's kind of a wavy pattern. I don't. This reminds me of the ceilings they used to do in homes with a whisk broom and stucco. I'm not sure what you'd call it, but it's kind of semicircle. I like that. This is going to be a liner for the bottom of my box, so that's actually where I'm going to start with this project. When we put the box together, I want the inside bottom of the box to have some color so that when you open it up, it looks kind of cool. So I'm going to cut from this a piece that measures 3 7/8 by 2 1/2. So I'm just going to start with a 2 1/2, and I think I have to decide which way I want to orient this in my box. I think I want it long this way, so 2 1/2 and 3 7/8, which is just an eighth smaller than 4. There we go. And on your box piece, when you open it up, there's going to be a tab that's got angled corners on it, and there's going to be a tab over here that's got this little sort of a key on it. This is the one that's going to be the bottom inside of your box, and it's the sort of shiny side, the smooth side of the paper that we want to glue it to. I'm going to glue mine on right now to give it time to dry. If you don't want to glue yours until your box is all folded up, you're absolutely certain which end is inside, that's perfectly fine to do too. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to glue mine on there now, give it a minute to dry while I do the stamping on the sleeve, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to fold up the box. So this piece of paper is just a hair smaller than the flap, and that's so that it doesn't get in the way of anything, and hides in the bottom of the box quite nicely. So I'm just making sure that it's centered on there. Smooth it out with my bone folder, and then I'm going to set that aside. And I want the sleeve. So the sleeve of the box comes folded flat. It's got a score line there and a score line there on the other side. And so we are going to do our stamping on here. And I am going to start with that greenery one, because I know that that's going to come in off the edges a little. Now, this is an untreated, smooth, but not buffed paper. So this is very similar to our regular cardstock. It's not quite as white, It's not really vanilla either. So you probably have to hold your stamps on a little longer than you normally would expect, just for the ink to adhere. You don't have to press down hard, you just have to hold it a little longer and let the ink absorb into the paper. Yeah, and I missed a little there. The pad might help underneath of this. I thought where this was such a thick cardboard. So let me see if I can line this up again. This stamp is actually fairly forgiving. I will add just a little more pressure there. We're going through 2 thick layers of cardboard here, so there we go. Okay, perfect. And then I think I'm going to do the same on the opposite side, but I'm going to get another piece of scrap paper because I don't think I want it to look like the leaves are coming in from the corner, but this is going to fold on this line. This is going to be the side of my box. So I'm going to mask off that side. And I think I will do similar. I'll mask off the top and have it coming in from the other edge. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So I want this well up and on to my top. And I am going to press just a little bit harder than I did before. Hold it just a little bit longer. There we are. Yep, okay, I like that. And then, do you know what? I'm going to do it from the bottom. I'm going to come in from the opposite bottom corner on this one. There, and I'm not going to worry about reverse masking and coming down. I'm happy with it that way. There, okay, so I've got some green. I'm just going to keep that handy. I want to flip this over. I just have to think about this for a minute. This is going to be my top. This is going to be a side. So this is going to be a side. That's the bottom. So yes, I want another one of those coming up on this side from the bottom. Like that. There, okay, I think I'm done with the green. That was really the only complicated one because I wanted it to come in from the corner and look like it was growing up. Alright, so I'm going to free up my block, put that one back, and I think I want this, I don't know what you call it, this one here that's got wavy lines on it. It's really cool pattern. So let's go back to the top. And be careful when you're touching. The ink takes a little longer to dry. I can still see it's wet here in spots. So don't overhandle it too much. Try to handle it by the edges or you may end up smudging and then you won't like that. Okay, I'm going to go to my Pebble Pink with this big wavy line thing here. And do one off this corner. Oh, missed in the middle again. Let me see if I can. This is going to be almost impossible to line up. You know what? I'm just going to put a flower right in the middle of it. Is what I'm going to do. And I'm going to do one here, right over the edge. Press a little harder. That's better. And I think I want another one kind of going off down here. Yep. And then on my other side. There, like that. There, okay. That's enough of those. And let's go to our, again, I'm being careful not to overhandle anything. It's going to take a little bit for it to dry. How about if I bring in my yellow flowers? So I'm going to crushed curry, and I'm going to use this little flower one here. And I'm just going to do some little yellow flowers, and I'm overlapping them over some of my pinky things that I did, just because I don't want everything to be spaced apart. And I'm going to fill up that hole that I accidentally left in that one. There, you can't even tell it's there anymore. And I'll do a couple that go off the edge, like that. And then I don't want to move this around when I flip it over. I don't want it to smudge, so I'm just going to very carefully hold it down right where it landed. And I think I will mask my bottom and do one off the edge there. Yep, I like that. Okay. Then I'm going to go to my spiky thing and my Coastal Cabana. Well, I got my bottom masked. Bring a spiky thing in there. A spiky thing there. 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 Here. Lovely. Okay. We've done the spiky thing. We did the wavy dotted lines. I want to get some purple spots in there. I haven't done anything with that one yet. Oh, and there's that thing. I'm going to pull that one out. That one that looks like a gridded checkerboard. It's very light. It's not a big shape. I'm going to do that in my Highland Heather. Oh yeah. I'm liking this. This is going to be a pretty little box. Down here. I'm layering them over top of some of them. But it's all patterns, it's all texture, it all works. Okay. Then, oh, here are my spots. I think I'm going to introduce one more color to this. I'll bring in my Native Navy, and I'm going to do my little spots in Native Navy. Now, I want to see how dark those are going to be. No, I think that'll work. I think it can handle that. And I'm just going to find different places where they're not going to be too overpowering. We're just going to fill in some of these little spaces. Some right there. There we go. A couple back here. Like that. Right in there. Right in there. Need something down here in this corner. And just something right there. Beautiful. Okay. Okay, so we've got our sleeve. Now I'm going to set that aside and let it dry for a minute, and we will go back to putting together our box. So you need a bone folder, and this is fairly straightforward on how to do this. But it's basically like this. If you start and do what I'm going to call the sides and the ends of the box, and you fold those up like that and give them a little crease like that. Okay, and you got to do this tab here. Okay, everything that is an outside tab, so the outermost tab on all 4 of these, fold back the opposite direction. So where everything else folds up towards the inside of the box, these last little tabs all fold out. So you can do them backwards like this if you like. Give them a little crease. They all fold backwards. Maybe I'll do all 4 of those while I'm on this side. And then I'll go back to the other side. So I've done that one, I've done that one, I've done that one. Now I'll flip it around and do the same on the other side. These 2 little flaps and this big one. And then this one. And I've already done that one out. And there's, and on our longer ones, there's this one. And there's this one that was already folded when we put them in your kit, because that's how they come out of the package. There's that one, and there's that one. Yeah. So once you've got everything all creased and folded, and they're all folding up in except for the outermost ones, now we can put the box together. And it's really simple. This is a self-locking box. There's a little slot in this tab, and there's a little key on this tab, and that was the one where I glued my bottom liner paper to, and that key is going to lock in that slot. So you take your 4 little indie flaps, best to hold it in one hand and cup it, okay, and bring those in and bring the side up over it and just push it down in, and you'll see that's why that little flap was backwards. Okay, and then I'm just going to pinch it together with my fingers here on the end. Okay, see if I can open this up and give you a little better view on the inside. Then I'm going to push these 2 in, and I'm going to bring that end up and this one in. Okay, so with those 2 in, then I take my front with the smaller flap that has the slot cut in it, and that one goes in, and that little key slot will go down and inside the bottom corner. Okay, and that will hold everything in place, and then the final one goes in, and when I push it down in, the key is going to go in the slot right down here inside the bottom, and it's going to snap in place in that little groove. And voila, I have a box, and my liner is now hidden underneath of the flap, so it perfectly lines the bottom of my box. Okay, so that's it for your box. We bring back our sleeve. I'm just going to make sure that it's all dry. Yep, everything is nice and dry. So this one, literally, you just pop it open with a finger in the middle and squeeze it until it goes the opposite direction. And then you slide your box inside. And it might be tight when you first put it in, but if you keep moving it back and forth, it will eventually get a little easier to move. So there you have a lovely little matchbox to put treats or something in. And then we're just going to tie a bow. I'm just going to go to one end when I do this. Oh, and here we go with an extra wide ribbon again. And me and trying to tie bows on extra wide ribbon never wants to be me, but I'm giving it a try. And the bunny goes round the tree and through the hole. Almost, almost. There. Okay, I'm happy with that. And I'm just gonna angle cut my ends. There we are. And the last little thing to add to this would be a sentiment tag or something if you were going to give it as a gift. But also, we need a little bit of bling. So in your kit was inside your stamp case with the ribbon in the plastic bag. You got a strip of these fabulous champagne rhinestones. And so I'm just going to put some little champagne rhinestones on the top and the sides, maybe, of my box. I'll worry about the top right now. Just add a little bit of sparkly glimmer to my box. Isn't that fun? These boxes come in a package of 10 in the catalog, and by the time you do your cost calculation on them with shipping and tax and whatnot, they're just a little over $1 a piece is what they end up being. So they make great treat boxes. They make great little souvenir keepsake boxes. You could put tissue paper in here. You could put a little piece of jewelry. You can easily fit 6 not Russell Stovers, the little ones wrapped up in the gold balls. I can't think of what they're called. Or Lindors, six Lindor balls. You could put little note cards in here, although our note cards are a little too big to fit, but you could cut your own note cards that would be 3.5 by 2.25, and you could make a little set of note cards that would go in there. Lots of ideas for things that you could do with it. So I hope you enjoyed that project. At the bottom of the page, you are going to find a Facebook link that will take you over to this particular project post on our Facebook page, and we encourage you to comment there, tell us what you liked, tell us what you didn't like. Tell us if you'd like to do different types of boxes and packaging in another Craft Day in a Box. And by all means, please share photos of your finished projects. Everybody's going to stamp and decorate this a little bit different. You might want to put some more designer paper on the ends of your box, or you might want to stamp on the ends of your inside sleeve. There's lots of possibilities for what you can do to decorate this project, and we would love to have your feedback, and we would love to see what you ended up doing to complete your project. So that's it for this one. Enjoy the other projects in Craft Day in a Box, and we will see you later.